the Seth Bash event on Friday, and also ADL today hosting this in remembrance of Seth. On a big crunch, they made skins, everything happen. Like, this track is definitely a difficult one. Seth would be proud. But I knew Seth like for a while. So did Retro over here. We're very good friends, and we's even better friends with Seth. Seth was very kind, very caring. He'd always reach out. He just touched so many people that honestly I didn't even know he had that much contact with people, but he was just so loving. I could kind of see it. He always made time for others when he didn't have time himself, and I think I'm going to take that and try to push forward with my goals and everything to become a better driver, and hopefully he's watching it. Love Seth. Live long, man.
Agreed. Retro, anything you would like to add on to that at the end? And I do apologize for all the live streams. I'm sorry, Retro. I do apologize for all the live streamers. I know I got the audio up a little bit late. I noticed it right as soon as Remy started speaking. I do apologize for that. But we're going to let Retro speak and say some things about Seth before we get going, and then we're going to be starting soon after.
Yeah, so my name is Retro. Other people, a lot of people know me as Danique. Once again, like Remy said, thank you ADL for hosting this competition. In honor of Seth. I really do appreciate it. It's really cool to see, again, everybody coming together for, such a cause and everything like that. But, I was one of Seth's close friends, and we've known each other for about 4 years now. Our story, me and Seth together, we began on a 5M drifting server called Mad Drift. But me and Seth never really, truly bonded until we, really switched over to Assetto Corsa. Seth and I used to drive so much, and I personally owe a lot of my early driving to him, because I consider him really like one of my bigger inspirations early on into the game, and he was really the reason why I continued to drive and do all these comps and strive to be like a better driver and everything like that. And then the first time whenever I joined Team Sync, that was a really exciting moment for me too. Being in a team with all these past 5M drivers, not only that, but just being in a team with my buddy Seth. And I really appreciated all my time being on Sync. But as we gather here for today's event, let's just make sure that we really send it for Seth and have a real good time and honor for it.
Amen to that. I can't thank you guys enough for coming in and saying something in honor of Seth today. And I know you guys did it for the Seth Bash yesterday, and I hate to have you guys have to do it again. So I definitely do appreciate it. I definitely appreciate it, and I wish you two the best of luck in today's event. Just know that he's up there, he's watching us, and he's still rooting for you guys. I know he is. So I think we're gonna go ahead and get started, and my condolences go out to you guys and all of his team members, obviously his family, and yeah, let's do it, man. Let's do it for Seth, bro.
Yeah.
All right, I'll see you on the battlefield, Retro. Good luck, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'll see you too, bro.
All right, everybody. Well, kind of a sad event, but also a happy one, being able to honor such a great person and somebody who made such a huge impact and just touched so many people's hearts in this community. Seth was an incredible person, and just glad that I had the privilege to be associated with him and meet him and be able to call him my friend along with so many others. So let's do it. Let's get it going, and yeah, that's about it. Sorry, I'm not quite sure what to say. It's one of them things where you don't want to say the wrong thing, or come off the wrong way or any of that, but we're gonna wait for the drivers to get going. We're gonna watch a few of their runs while we get started.
Hey, shit.
Yes. anything else?
The engine car, yes.
Oh, okay. I'll get that. I'll do that now. Sorry, everybody.
Alright, I'll go get them ready. You ready to start this thing?
Let me go ahead and get the bracket pulled up and see who the first battle is. And yes, I do believe so. I do believe we are about to get our first battle underway. It will be... Wonder why this is not working. The overlay decided it did not want to work again. So our first battle is going to be Edvards against Donique Retro, who we just heard from. Trying to get the overlay to show the right names, but unfortunately it is not cooperating with us. All right, we got our first battle at the line. We have Edvards against Donique, or Retro, as he goes by, in the chase. Drivers are off. Go ahead and get the overlay turned off. Since it's not even displaying the right names anyway, but here we go. Edvards so far throwing down a really solid lead line. Donique right on his door, sticking right with him. Both drivers in the GTA 6. This is a very tricky, very complicated track. So it definitely would be a hard track to, or a hard competition today. Not only, you know, is everybody going to be driving really well, I'm assuming, but just a tough challenge as well with the track. Great run from both of those drivers. They're off for their second run. Donique in the lead this time. Edvards in the chase. Donique with a big initiation. Edvards with the contact. Donique gets back in it. They're going to finish out their runs here. Both drivers kind of cutting that inside clip a little bit, but to be expected after the contact. Both drivers laying it down after the contact. Great to see. We'll get them lined up at the advance gate over here to see who our winner will be. I do appreciate all the drivers for coming out today. In today's competition in honor of Seth. Sorry guys, I'm sorry to be so quiet today, but there's a lot of stuff going on in the background that is taking a lot of my attention away, so I'm just trying to stay enough alert to where I can keep everything going on the stream, as well as commentate and everything else going. So bear with me, we will get better. Still waiting on a call to come in from the judges. All right, seems as though we have 2 votes in from the judges. And a third. Seems as though it's going to go to Donique is going to get the win. I'm assuming for the contact from Edvards in his chase. Get our next battle to the line. Our next battle will be Jackie against JC Motorworks. Jackie will lead first. Jackie in the S15, JC in the Corvette. We get ready to send them. All right, they are off. Good initiation from the lead driver, from Jackie. Quite a big slowdown there from JC in the chase. Jackie putting down a pretty solid line so far here in the lead. JC has a little bit of work to do to catch up and tidy up his run a little bit, but Jackie solid so far, very solid. Lots of angle going to the outside zone, very smooth, back on throttle where we need to be. Great lead there from Jackie. JC definitely has some work to do here in his lead. Drivers are off for their second run. Oh, contact there on the start. Seems as though JC's going to shut his car down. We'll watch Jackie finish out his run. Seems as though the contact from Jackie didn't allow JC to quite initiate when he needed to. Jackie finishing out his run here. We will make our way over here to see who the winner will be. It seems as though JC is going to get the win. We're not allowing... JC's going to get the win. I was just making sure nothing was happening. So JC's going to get the win, I'm assuming, because of the contact on the initiation. Jackie just not allowing JC to initiate. Very unfortunate because he had such a killer lead. So you really hate to see that. But our next battle is going to be Space against... Subby Wubby. Space in the lead in the 180. Subby Wubby in the chase in the S15. Drivers are off. Kind of a low angle initiation there from space, nice and conservative and clean. Maybe just playing it a little bit safe. So far so good though. Seems as though Sebi could get a little bit more proximity in the chase, but overall not too bad. Both drivers making it across the line, and overall no contact made, nothing too fancy. Both of them kept it clean and kept it on the track. All right, we're gonna get the drivers flipped around. All right, drivers are off for their second run. Sebi will be in the lead this time, putting somewhat of a gap between him and Space on the run up, but a big flick initiation there from Sebi Wubby. Both drivers still keeping it clean, keeping it on the track. Very nice battle so far. Space sucking right up to his door there at the end. Just what we like to see. All right, as we go make our way over here to get the call. Alright, waiting on a judging call. I'm also playing a judge today, so part of my silence, and I do apologize again for that, is typing to the other judges during or after the battles. But we are waiting for a call from the other judges currently. And I again want to thank all the drivers that showed up to today's event for making this happen, in memorial for Seth. Like I said, just an amazing man, and very unfortunate that we lost him. But he will live on forever. It's up to us to carry on his legacy and his name, and his dream and his passion. And you know, it comes down to us now. So. But it seems as though we have one other judge, both other judges for OMT, so they want to see the drivers clean it up a little bit and see if they can't do something better with this run as we wait for the advance gate to make the call. Alright, we're getting ready to send them for their OMT. Both drivers making their way back over to the line. Alright. Light counts down, and here we go. Drivers are off. Space in the lead again. Sebi Wubby in the chase. Another conservative initiation there from Space. Not throwing quite as much angle as we've seen from the drivers practicing this week. Going a little wide after that inside clip, but keeping it together. Sebi Wubby sucking right up tight to him, right on his door on that transition. Keeping it nice and smooth and nice and clean. Both drivers doing really good here. Let's see what they can do as they flip around for their second run. right, drivers are lined back up, ready to go. All right, and they are off. Subby Wubby in the lead this time, Space in the chase. Subby Wubby with another big initiation, nice smooth initiation, but Space sucking right up to him. Oh, giving him a little bump there at that inside clip. Subby Wubby looking like he couldn't quite get the car to rotate around like he wanted to for that inside clip. And just barely caused a collision there from Space. Oh, Space sucking right up on his door in the outside zone. Really wants this win. Awesome driving there from Space. Incredible to see. And we will see what the judges have to say. Very, very exciting runs from these two guys here. Sorry that you can see my mouse on the stream, by the way. I know that bothers some people. Is a setting that I forgot to turn off, unfortunately. So we will be sure to get that fixed. Also, we have live replay set up. Unfortunately, we can't get them to work today, just because of all the extra stuff added. Well, not any really extra stuff, but just trying to still get it figured out and ironed out. Feel like we need a little bit more practice with it, but just know that in the next few, you know, or maybe even the next round, we will have live replays ready to go. Just something we had in the past, and we're trying to bring it back. So we're still waiting on the judges to come to a decision on this battle here. Both drivers put down a really solid run. All right, waiting on the other judges now. Sorry about that, guys. Bear with me, please. All right, and it seems as though Subby is going to get the win. And there we have it. Subby will get the win over Space. Space just a little too aggressive in the chase. Our next battle will be MZ in Tex against Hydra. But yeah, Space was just a little bit too aggressive in the chase at that inside clip. You know, I first time around, I thought I seen that Subby maybe was not really taking like he was not really at the angle he should have been at, but he was adding the angle, and unfortunately Space was just slightly too aggressive and caused that contact. So very unfortunate for Space, but hey, it's okay. We're still gonna keep sending it. And here we go. We got MZ and Tex against Hydra. MZ and Tex in the lead, Hydra in the chase. MZ and Tex in both, MZ and Tex in the S15, Hydra in the S14. Both drivers putting down a really solid line here so far. Get them flipped around for their next run. Seems as though driver might have accidentally reset by accident, so we allow the other driver to also reset. Both drivers now at the line, ready to go. Not quite sure what happened there. But here we go. Drivers are off. Light goes green. Hydra, longtime driver in the Assetto Drift League competitions. Oh, slight wobble there on initiation, but held it together. MZ Intex being very aggressive in the chase. Oh, kind of choked himself up there, MZ Intex did. Trying to suck up at the door at the wrong places. That will happen very quickly at these tracks. You just fall behind really quickly, but got right back on his door there at the end. So A for effort there from MZ Intex after his slight little wobble. But solid runs from both these drivers nonetheless. All right, we've got 3 judges already deciding. It seems as though Hydra will get the lead, or the win. I apologize. Hydra will get the win. He will move on. And I do believe that was the last battle for our first group to come in here. That was. So our next group will join the server. They will get a few practice runs in, and we will get them sent off. I'm going to send you guys to a commercial break quick. Try to get a couple things handled so we can get things going a little bit more smoothly here. And then we'll be right back. We're going to send you guys to a commercial break. All right, welcome back, everybody. We are getting ready to send the next group. They're in the server now doing a couple practice runs. After their couple minutes of practice, we will be getting everybody sent off. Oh, looks like practice is just about over. So our first battle should be coming up to the line here very shortly. Our first battle for this group will be Remy against Chucho 131. Remy is in the 400Z, I believe. Chucho, I'm not quite sure. I think maybe I've seen him put in the request for the S15, if I remember correctly from earlier. But here we go. They are coming up to the line now. Got Remy in the... Oh, Chucho in the Mustang. All right. Remy in the lead, Chucho in the chase. First battle for Group B. Getting ready to send it. As you see on the cars there, we're sending it for Seth today. For those of you just joining us, this is Memorial Comp in honor of Seth Miller. Skins dedicated to him, as well as the competition for today. But here we go. Remy runs down the straight. Big initiation there. Chucho right on his door. Remy going a little wide. Oh, straightening up. Kind of struggling through that section there. Chucho leaving a little room to figure out what he was going to do. Chucho now trying to make some ground back up here. I see us falling way behind. Going wide, throwing lots of angle in that Mustang, trying to get it to catch back up. But understandable. Alright, we'll get them flipped around and see what they're able to cook up on their next run. Alright, here we go. Drivers are off. Chucho in the lead this time. Remy in the chase. Chucho with a smooth initiation. Remy sucking right up to his door right at that inside clip. Dropping tire on the rumble strip there. Trying to maintain that proximity. Chucho going wide, dropping tire over the rumble strip. Keeping it together though. Throwing lots of speed and angle into that last outside zone. Remy coming along, giving a little tap there. And we shall wait for the judges to make a call. Get the camera lined up over there. I keep forgetting it doesn't switch over there. I do apologize. All right, seems as though we have an OMT. Both drivers having a 0. Remy straightening it up and Chucho putting 2 tires off track. We will get them back at the line again for another battle. And like I said earlier, I do apologize for the slight silence on the live stream here from time to time. Like I said, I am playing a judge today, which usually I am not. So, got a couple more things going on than usual in this competition, but nonetheless, we're here to do it. We're here to have fun and let these drivers enjoy an experience that lots of other places have, but just another one for them to have fun in. So. Do it for the love of the game and the love of the sport. But here we are on their next run. Remy holding it or bringing it together a little bit better there. Kind of running away from Chucho. Chucho cutting the inside clip right there, dropping a tire off the track, and Remy just got that thing hooked up, but he sent it off track right at the end. Very unfortunate because he was on a pretty solid lead run there. But very, very unfortunate there for Remy. He was absolutely putting links on Chucho. Must have that 400Z. Really, really, really gripped up. But I do know that Mustang is also hard to... It's hard to get that track hooked up at kind of like smaller, tighter tracks such as this one. It's great in that power alley section, but it does kind of lack in them tighter sections. So, you know, bigger tracks where it can be more wide open, the Mustang's definitely good for that, but just such a big car. But here we are for their second run. Chucho sending it in, kind of shallow on that outside zone at the start, but filling it out towards the end. Remy sucking inside, straightening up. Don't know what happened there. Maybe he was just a little bit too heavy on the brakes. But man, major mistake there from Remy. Oh, and then Chucho with a big slowdown in that last outside zone, heavy on the left foot brake as they come to the line to finish their battle. We are waiting for the... We're waiting for the judges to make a call. And it seems as though we do. It seems as Chucho is going to get the win and move on to the next round. I think the other judges were just trying to see if maybe there was a tire drop anywhere or something that... something that they might overlook before making a decision. Chucho will get the win, move on. Our next battle will be Stoner Monk against Logan the Heretic. Stoner Monk in the R34, Logan the Heretic in the C5. Stoner Monk with a lot of speed. Kind of looked like a late initiation there from Stoner Monk. Oh, and SR Heretic kind of making a mess of the inside clip there. Putting tires way inside the inside clip. And like I said, today's track is very tricky. Very, very tricky. So, I mean, this is one of them tracks where you need to go in and put quite a few laps down before, you know, you just go out and send it, because it is a very, very hard track. So... not quite sure if that's what happened with these guys. I was just stating that to put it out there, but yeah, this track is very tricky and can be very deceiving on the initiation. You know, you think you can send it in much harder than you actually can. So but here we are, drivers are back at the line, flipped around for their next battle, and they are off. Drivers initiate. Stoner Monk sucking up to the door of the Corvette. Logan the Heretic. And Logan still cutting that inside clip there a little bit, even in the lead. Sending it a little bit wide right there. And that is something that you could very well see a lot done today. That's one of them things that's super easy to do. It's easy to go wide right there at that outside zone as well, like you see Remy do in the last battle. So there's quite a few places where... you know, you can be really, really tripped up by this track. Very, very deceptively hard track. Like I said, these I'll give you guys a little close-up of the liveries to commemorate Seth Miller. Like I said, died of cancer. Very unfortunate passing of our dear friend and brother. But these are liveries that we put together in honor of him. They are available to download in our Discord along with the car pack. Everything's linked in the Discord, and our Discord is linked in the description, along with a a message for Seth. But yeah, so these are all available to be downloaded and in the Discord for you today. We are waiting for the other judges to come to a call. I believe one of them is watching the replay now. Sometimes that can take a while when you have to leave the server and rejoin. But that is what it's all about today, right there, that message there. Sending it for Seth. We also, myself and some members of the Sync family and team, we are talking about hosting a Missouri drift bash of sorts, where it's not necessarily a comp, but just a day of just doors and tandems and just fun, all around fun. And we're debating on, how we're going to go about it, or if we're going to do it. So if that's something you'd be interested in, then do join the Discord, as we will post information about that later on as we find out more information. But yeah, that is also a thing or something that we are considering. And it seems as though we're going to have one more time. Judges just not really able to make heads or tails of what to call for that battle. Myself being one of them. Not quite able to really come to a decisive decision that would be fair to both drivers. Here we go, get them flipped around. Stoner Monk in the lead again in that R34, and Logan in the chase in that Corvette. Light goes green and they are off. They send it down the straight. Big flick, big speed there from Stoner Monk, and Heretic, not quite sure what's happening there with Logan. I'm not quite sure if that was a lag or a reset, or I'm not positive what's actually happening at this moment. Maybe it's a restart. Maybe there was a collision with the start cone that I did not see. Appears as though that is a possibility. All right, and it seems as though that's what it was. It was a restart. So here we go. Drivers are off. Big sin there from Stoner Monk again. Logan playing a little bit safe. Maybe seeing as though Stoner Monk went wide in their first battle, and then Logan trying to suck up there on his door right before that transition, having to back off a little bit to avoid from making contact. But Stoner Monk looking like he's got that R34 hooked up. Logan doing everything he can in that chase to keep up with Stoner Monk, but Stoner Monk really smooth and fast lead there on his part. We'll get them flipped around and see what they can do for the next run of their OMT battle. All right, and here we are. Drivers are off. Making their way down the straight and initiating. Oh, Logan kind of going straight there, slowing down. Stonermont give him a little bit of a bump there, pushing him along the track. Kind of give him a little help there. Oh, and then Stonermont kind of collecting his door there, making him overhang a little bit, and then Logan just going off track. Very unfortunate. We'll have to see what the judges call for this run, for this battle. All right. All right, it seems as though we have a vote already for Stoner Monk. He will get the victory and he will advance on to the next round. Our next battle of this group will be Killshot against Fitboy Drift. And this will be our last battle of this round. We unfortunately only had 30 people show up to today's competition, so we had 2 drivers have bye runs, and 1 less battle in round 1. So we have a group of 4, 2 groups of 4 and 2 groups of 3 joining into the server. There was a better way brought to my attention afterwards, but we had already set it up the way it was, so I do apologize for the extra wait time, but here we are. Drivers are off. Killshot sending it in the lead in that C5. Oh, and Fitboy just sending a little wide in that chase. Maybe kind of getting a little bit panicky, trying to catch up to Killshot in the lead. You know, seeing as he was pulling away from him and just sent it a little too wide. But Killshot putting that C5 right where he needs to. Oh, dropping a tire. Not quite sure if that will be a complete 0 or not. If it was 1 tire or 2. It seemed as though it was only 1 tire because I still seen smoke coming from the rear tires, but it did certainly choke up Fitboy there a little bit in the chase. I do believe that Fitboy had already kind of not necessarily thrown his chase out the window at that time, but certainly could have been better up to that point. So we'll have to see how the judges score that. But here we are, drivers are off for their second run. Fitboy in the lead. And Killshot in the chase. And Killshot with a very aggressive initiation, bumper to bumper initiation on transition. Both drivers sending it wide on into outside 1. And Killshot even going off track there a little bit. I wonder if he might have put 2 tires off. Very unfortunate if he did, but Fitboy definitely putting 2 tires off track there. And we will have to see what the judges say. Very, very easy to do here. Like I was saying earlier, track is super tricky. And I do suggest that the drivers go get any practice they can and on the practice server while they can before their battles come up, because it can be very, very, very difficult to link this track perfectly. All right, waiting on the other judges to come back with a decision. All right, we have a OMT. Seems as though both drivers collectively made too many errors and each had 0s to make a decision. So we're going to send them again. which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Here we are. Drivers are at the line. Kill shot in the lead. Pitboy in the chase. And drivers are off. And Killshot just super fast on that run up. Pitboy sucking right up to his door. Give a little bump. Nothing major, nothing to upset him. I'm sure he didn't even feel that little tap. But Pitboy just struggling to stay on that door. And that C5, or of the C5, driven by Killshot. A super fast and smooth Killshot is. Very, very good lead this time around. We'll have to see if Pitboy can gather himself here in his lead run. Definitely still made quite a few hiccups in his chase. Still tip my hat to him for coming out to today's event, though. I certainly appreciate it. I know everybody at the ADL staff appreciates it. Anybody that comes and drives in our competitions, it means so much to us. You know, we're just glad that we can put on events for people to enjoy and come and be a part of. So, but here we are, or here we go for their second run. Pitboy sending it in wide, almost 90 at the start of that zone there, having to pull a lot of angle out and make it to that inside clip nice and smooth. But both drivers have been nice and smooth so far on this run. Killshot looking like he might have surged a little bit, trying to suck up some proximity. Oh, and it seems as though Pitboy might have dropped the tire in that outside, the last outside zone. Overall, much better runs from the previous battle from these two guys. Very happy they could get it. And it seems as though Killshot is going to get the win. He will move on to the next round, our top 16. And we are going to go ahead and get our next group in here. Our next group will consist of another Shadow Realm member, Raynar. I'm sorry, 2, possibly 3. I'm not quite sure. But Raynar, Grizz, also a part of Shadow Realm. Thank you guys so much for coming out, and also thank you guys for everything you guys did for the Seth Bash yesterday. I definitely appreciate it. I know a lot of other people do as well. Amazing thing for what you guys did, what everybody did. Everybody coming together like that and making something happen. Just beautiful, touching moment in the Assetto community, and it made me really proud to be a part of this community yesterday. So awesome thing to see. So huge shout out to those boys over there at Shadow Realm. Definitely go check them out. Great group of guys. So but anyway, Raynar and Grizz will be our first battle. Unfortunately, they got to go against each other in the first battle of our next group, but it is what it is. And then your old friend Lee against Tuna Drifts, Casey Tucker against Drift Bros Ray James, Stokes VR against Luke Bettimer to close out Group C. And after that, Group D will come in, which will consist of our last 3 battles of the top 30, technically, instead of 32. It will be TDR Keefe, Randall Kinney, Diaz W against Thick Daddy, and then 3 Show against Cinemo, I believe is the way you pronounce his name. If not, I apologize. But here we are. Our next group is starting to make their way into this server here. We're getting ready to send them on their way. They will get a couple minutes of practice, and then after these next 2 groups get done, we'll send you guys to a quick commercial break to get everything ready for top 16, and then after that we'll be riding out to the end, baby. But anyway, I thank everybody for joining. I hope you guys are enjoying the competition today. Sorry it's been a slow one, probably not the best one to watch, and I do apologize for that. But lots of things going on, kind of playing a lot of duties today, or a lot of roles today, so I do apologize. I hope I can try to make it better as we get further into this competition. It's not so boring for everybody to watch, because I know that the beginning has probably been pretty rough, so sorry. But then again, I do thank you guys all for being here. It means a lot to us. I had my drone camera hooked up, I would run and do some drone footage for you guys, but yeah, it's not working, unfortunately. Well, it's working, it's just wasn't hooked up in time. Give you guys some drone footage action while we're waiting for their practice to be over. Sadly, I was not fully prepared today. But that just gives me room to do better, right? Can't be mad at where you forget and you fail. Just gives you room to improve and better yourself. So we'll go ahead and watch some of these guys go as we wait. Might as well. Give you guys something to watch at least. You don't just gotta hear my voice. Drivers will probably only get a couple more, or maybe 1 or 2 more minutes of practice before we start sitting in this group. Like I was saying, our first battle will be Raynar against Grizz. Both guys from Shadow Realm. Incredible guys. Like I was saying earlier too, I'm going to try to, for the next competition, we have it all set up already, just haven't been able to utilize it for this event, unfortunately. But trying to get the live replays working after their battles to play an instant replay. Like I said earlier, we had them before, but unfortunately just haven't been able to use them in quite some time, so we're going to bring them back and improve them, make them better. And like I was saying, hopefully we will have them soon. See, it seems as though, I noticed in practice and a couple times today, it seems as though people are being really aggressive on that inside clip right there. Which is kind of like I was saying, how the track is really deceptive. That's one of them parts that's deceptive. Like, it's a slow section, so you think, let me get up on his door, you know, let me be as close as I can. But that's realistically, I'm not saying you can't get away with it, but realistically it's probably not the smartest move, just purely because of that's around the time you want to start backing off of the door to make that transition, so you can suck back up to his door after transition. So one of them other tricky aspects about this track actually designed by the man we're following right now. Well, not designed, but just made. Randall Kenny, he is the maker of this track. So huge shout out to him for putting this track together for all of us to enjoy for today's competition, and for anybody else that might download it outside of today's competition. The track is on Vosen for anybody interested in getting it for themselves. It is called Silver Dollar Motorsports Park. Just hop on to Vosen to grab it today. All right, our first battle is at the line. We are ready to go, boys and girls. We got Raynar against Grizz. I'm hoping this is going to be a good battle, seeing as these two are teammates and drive together all the time. That's usually what you could expect from such a battle. Oh, okay. No worries. No worries. Do you mind, since you're here, I just messaged, would you mind moving the light up just a little bit closer to the cones? That way we can see it from this camera perspective that we're at now. Yeah, there you go. Attaboy. Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Nah. The collider box on it is super small. All right, well, as you just heard, one of our judges, I believe, is probably just using the restroom or something of the sorts. So we will get this battle sent off here very, very, very soon. And are we going? Here we are. Okay, drivers are getting ready to go and they're off. Raynar in the lead in the 400Z against Grizz in the 180. I don't know if that's going to be a restart necessarily or not, seeing as though there was a collision with the cone. I do believe that it is going to be. These drivers are probably going to finish out their run. Do believe that's going to be a restart if I had to guess. Yes, that is going to be a restart. So here we go. We are going to run this one back. I'm assuming they just wanted to go ahead and send it fully around the track before making their way back to the start line. Here we go. They are off. Raynar in the lead in the 400Z, Grizz in the chase in the 180. And Raynar throwing a lot of angle into that first zone. Heavy on the brakes, trying to make that inside clip, cutting the inside clip quite a bit. Grizz just getting that proximity, sucking up on his door. Trying to do everything he can in that 180. Here we are, both drivers making it across the line in one solid piece. Get them flipped around for their next run. We'll have Grizz in the lead this time. Raynar in the chase. All right, here we go. Drivers are off. And Grizz with a nice, smooth, slow to angle initiation. Very, very, very conservative initiation there from Grizz. Nothing wrong with playing it safe, though. Raynar falling back, not even in the picture frame anymore. That last shot there. Wonder what happened to him. Oh, and then Grizz putting two tires off track. Very, very unfortunate. We get the drivers to park over here for the call. Waiting for a judging call. Talking to the other judges. Still waiting on a call. All right. Seems as though Raynar's going to get the win. We were trying to see if Raynar had an incomplete anywhere in his runs, but we don't believe that he did. Whereas, unfortunately, Grizz did. But Raynar will move on to top 16. We'll have your old friend Lee against Tuna Drifts for our next battle. If you don't follow Tuna Drifts on Instagram, please go do. Tell him Sif sent you. Shift happens. Really good dude, him and his brother. His brother actually a Formula Drift driver, so he comes from the sport. Both these drivers, though, Tuna kind of off to a little rough start there in the chase, not really holding the same angle as your old friend Lee on initiation. Oh, and not quite sure what happened. Seems as though your old friend Lee reset back to pits. I wonder if he was going off track or what happened. Didn't quite see what happened in that moment. Does appear to be what happened. Just slightly overcooked it and reset back to pits. Your old friend Lee, a little bit of an over rotation at that inside clip. Oh, and then just sucking up or surging a little too hard there, giving Tuna Drifts a little bump. Oh, and then Tuna Drifts sending it wide off the track, the last outside zone. Very unfortunate for both these drivers. We'll have to see if the judges can come to a decision with what we had. All right, we are going to go OMT. Just appears to be too much commotion, too much incompletion going on to really make a call. So we're going to get them flipped around. Your old friend Lee's going to lead again in that S15, and Tuna Drifts is going to chase in that C5. All right, coming down the run up, they initiate. Your old friend Lee started with a lot of angle, pulled a little bit out, and then tried to get some more back on. And Tuna right there with him through the whole thing. Such a slow section of the track right there. Got to be tricky, got to be tidy. Or super tricky, got to be tidy. I'm sorry about that. But both drivers keeping it together. No contact made. Keep it on the track. Just all around solid run from both these guys. Tuna looking like he has that Corvette just mega hooked up. And just not able to keep that same line that your old friend Lee had. Let's see what he's able to do in this lead this time around. See if he can avoid from going wide on that last outside zone. We send it again for their next run. All right, here we go. Making their way down the run up. Nice smooth initiation there. Oh, kind of a choke up there from Tuna. Maybe slowing a little bit too much, but no contact made. Your old friend Lee doing a really good job to avoid from making contact through that section. Oh, and then almost contact. I was gonna say contact made, but I almost called it before it happened. Good thing I stopped myself. Didn't jinx these two drivers. All right. It's gonna be a little bit tougher of a call to make this time around, I think. Seeing as we had two much better runs. gonna be a tricky call to make here. Usually this is the time when I would say I hate to be I would hate to be a judge. But today is one of them days where I am a judge. We will wait to see what the other judges have to say. Sorry for the delay, guys. The judges are trying to come to a decision. All right, seems as though we got another OMT. Judges not able to pick a clear winner. One driver with a better lead, one driver with a better chase. So hard to make a decision based off those two things. Not all the time, but in this case it was. So we'll just see if these drivers are able to tidy it up a little bit to make the decision. Well, I guess either, I was going to say a little bit easier, but if they both tidied it up, then it'll make it just a little bit harder. But just unfortunately not able to make a call in that last battle, but here we are for an OMT. Big sin there from your old friend Lee. And then S15, beautiful initiation there. Going slightly wide right there. Big transition. Super snappy transition going to that outside touch and go. But both drivers pretty clean so far. And Tuna sticking right on his door all the way around the track. All right, drivers are lined back up for their next run. And they are off, coming down the straight. Big initiation there from both drivers too. They're not quite able to make it out to that zone fully. Both drivers coming through the tight section now, keeping it clean. Both of them keeping it on track. All right. All right, now we wait for the judges to make a call again. All right, Tuna is gonna get the win. Our next battle will be Casey Tucker against Ray James from Drift Bros. Oh, let's get switched over to the track cameras. I do apologize for that. All right, so Casey Tucker in the Mustang, Ray James in the S15. Drivers making their way to the line. All right, they initiate. Oh, kind of a awkward initiation there from Casey. Not quite at the angle he probably should have been. But Ray James not phased. Oh, dipping half his car off the track to that inside clip. Ray James did. Maybe just getting lost in the transition a little bit, which is another thing that's really easy to do in that section of the track. There's a little crest coming over that at that inside clip, and it's weird. It's not weird, but it's kind of tricky to know when you need to transition, especially in the chase at that inside clip, because you can't really see it. So you're just trusting that the lead car is where he needs to be. So I'm assuming what happened there for Ray James in his chase. All right, here we go. Got them flipped around. Ray James in the lead, Casey Tucker in the chase. Both drivers going the conservative route on the initiation. Just a slow to angle, nice smooth initiation, which is probably the best way to go about it. But Ray James putting down just a absolute stunner of a lead line here, and Casey Tucker sticking right with him. Both drivers really good through that last outside zone. Wait for the judges to make a call. Just reviewing. All right. Casey Tucker is gonna get the win. All right, we are going to move on to our final battle for this group, which will be Stokes VR against Luke. Luke Budemeyer? Not quite sure. Sorry for butchering your name, Luke. Here we are, both drivers in the S15, black and yellow livery. Drivers are off. Stokes in the lead. Luke in the chase. Stokes, big initiation, super confident initiation, really fast, very momentous in that lead. Luke, not quite sure. I'm not quite sure Luke was expecting it to be quite that fast, being as how everybody else have been today. But huge props to Stokes in that lead on that initiation. Super stellar line around the track. And then Luke also, great chase, man. Great driving all around from both of these guys. All right. Solid initiation there from both drivers. Oh, a little bit of a surge there from our chase driver from Stokes. Trying to suck it up tight to Luke. And Luke just slowing just a little bit. Both drivers keeping it clean still. Oh, it looked like Luke might have dipped a tire. Stokes kind of making a little bit of contact to him or with him after he slowed from dropping a tire. So we wait for a call to come in from the judges. Waiting on a call from the other judges to come in for a decision. I think the judges are deliberating on the second run to see exactly what happened. I believe from the contact, even though it wasn't nothing bad. There was contact though. Both drivers were able to hold it together still and make it to the finish line. Judges still deliberating. They keep typing, then not typing, and typing and not typing. All right, and there we have it. Stokes. Probably hard to tell on y'all's end because they're both in the same car, same livery, but that was Stokes. He gets the win. He will move on to the next round. There was talk on the contact from Stokes. However, it was deemed that it didn't really mess up Luke enough to really hurt his call at all. But here we got our next battle at the line. We got PDR Keefe against Randall Kinney. TDR Keefe in the lead in that S14. Randall Kinney in the chase in the FC. Oh, and it seems as though Keefe just really cut that inside clip. Randall playing it safe, staying back up off his door a little bit. Probably not quite sure what was going to happen there. But nonetheless, both drivers making it to the line. Randall giving him a little bit of a speed bump there. Looks seeing as though his Keefe might have dropped a tire and just slowed him down a little bit, and then Randall gave him a little tap across the line and spinning him out. All right, drivers are off. Randall in the lead. Big initiation there from Randall. filling out that outside zone perfectly. Oh, and Keith almost coming in and making contact with Randall. But stopped just in time. And Randall throwing down an absolute heater of a lead line here. And that RX-7 FC. Keith sucking up to his door right across the line. All right, and we have a call come in already, and the winner is going to be Randall. Randall is going to get the win. I do believe we have everybody in here for the last group. I mean, there's only 2 more battles left in the top in the first round, so I believe our last 2 battles are already in here, so you don't have to wait for anybody to reset or anybody to join. We got our next battle, which is Diaz against Dustin. Diaz in that GT 86, Dustin in the S14. Big initiation there from Diaz. Oh, and Dustin just straightening up. Maybe a little bit too heavy on the left foot brake on his end and just completely straightening up and going off track. Diaz finishing out his run here in the GT 86. Nice smooth lead there from him. I'm kind of curious on what happened to Dustin there in his run. Seemed as though he just hit that left foot brake just a little bit too hard, and you know, caused them front tires to lock up and the whole car to straighten up. He makes his way back to the line. Go for their second run. All right, drivers are off. Dustin with a big initiation. Filling out that outside zone, maybe even dipping a tire. Going a little wide on that inside clip there, and after going up on the rumble strip. Just trying to get that S14 where he needs it to be. Also kind of new to the sim world, Dustin is, so very hard track to really get down, especially for such a newer driver. So props to him for even being able to make it around the track. All right. Our call came in, and it will be Diaz. Diaz will move on to the next round. We'll get the win over Dustin. Our next and final battle of round 1 will be 3-show against Sion Mo. I hope I'm saying that right. If not, I do apologize, man. Don't hate me. All right, it seems as though we got Risho with the line. And Sion making his way to the line. Alright, drivers are off. Oh, making contact with the start cones. Not quite sure if it'll be a restart or not. Big initiation there though from 3 Show. Make contact. Contact from CN. Both drivers trying to hold it together and Ciano just shutting it down. Both drivers shutting it down. I do believe it's going to be a restart from them clipping the cone on this when the light went green. So we will get these drivers sent off again. Drivers coming back around for their restart. They are lined up, ready to go again. We got 3 Show in the lead, Sion in the chase. Light goes green, and they are off. They initiate, big initiation there. Maybe a little bit too much of a slowdown there from 3 Show in the lead, but nothing too major. But drivers make it through, and oh, super aggressive transition there from Sion. And Sion sticking it right close to him. GTA 6, super good car for this track. That is always my car of choice at most tracks. Sometimes it will be the 180, sometimes it might be the 400Z, but GTA 6 is usually a go-to on any track. Here we go, we're getting them flipped around and lined up to go for their second run. Sion in the lead this time around, 3 Show in the chase. Drivers are off. Oh, sorry, I just yawned. Big flick there from Sion in the lead. Clean initiation from both drivers. Oh, and 3 Show doing the same thing Sion did in his chase, sucking up right after that transition, after that inside clip to that touch and go. Sucking right up to his door again here as they make their way across the line. Great runs from both of these guys. We wait now for the judges to deliberate on a call, see who our winner will be. And he will be the last and final driver to move on. All right. Still waiting on the judges to make a call. right, and that's going to do it for our top 32. We're going to go ahead and get the next group in here to start their practice for their runs. Our next group is going to be the for the start of top 16. We're going to have LS13 Coupe against Donique, JC Motorworks against Sebi Wubby, Hydra against Chuko, Stoner Monk against Killshot. And then our group B and second group and final group of round 2 will be Terran against Raynar, Tuna Drifts against Casey Tucker, Stokes VR against Randall Kinney, and Diaz against Pre-Show. We, however, are going to send you guys to a quick commercial break while we let these guys come in here, get a few laps of practice before we send them for the remainder of the comp. Thank you guys for joining us, and we'll be right back. And enjoy the commercial break in honor of Seth Miller. All right, so yeah, I was gonna say, let's not do fucking cars All right, welcome back, everybody. Sorry for failing to mute my mic when we went to commercial break originally. For those of you that heard me. We are getting ready to send the first group of top 16. We're going to try to go ahead and quickly get through this last half of the competition. Like I said, do bear with us today. And there we are, practice is ending. We're going to be getting our battles underway here very soon. Like I said, do bear with us for today's competition. It's been a rough few days, and the event today kind of started out great, and then some things fell through, and anyway, we're making do with what we have. All right, looks like our first battle is at the line. We have LS13 Coupe against Donique. LS13 Coupe in the 180. Donique in the GTA 6. Big initiation there from both drivers. LS13 Coupe looking like he might have been a little slow to that section there, but they both kept it really clean. Donique did what he had to stay away from making contact with him. Great run from both of these guys. Drivers are off for their second run. Big initiation there from Donique. And that GTA 6 LS13 Coupe sucking right up to his door, cutting that inside clip a little bit there. Both drivers making their way down the hill to that outside touch and go over the crest of that inside clip. Oh, looks like there might have been contact there from LS13 Coupe in the chase. Unless Donique just over-rotated on his own doing. All right, we are waiting for a call to come through from the judges. Trying to decide. It's hard to tell from this angle on the live stream on what exactly happened to Donique and why he went off track. Wasn't quite able to tell if it was contact or if he just kind of overcooked it or what exactly happened. Super hard to tell from the live stream camera though. Still waiting to hear back from the judges on the call. All right, it seems as though there was contact from LS13 Coupe in his chase, causing Donique to over-rotate and go off track. Still waiting to hear back from one of the judges. All right, and there we have it. All three judges going with Donique for the win. We wait for the advance gate to indicate the winner. There we are. Donique gets the win. Very unfortunate for LS13 Coupe. Hopefully we can see him in the next round. Donique will advance on to the Grade 8. Up next, we will have JC Motorworks against Subby Wubby. Drivers making their way to the line. JC in the C5, Subby Wubby in the S15. All right, here we go. They are off. Big initiation there from JC in the lead. Kind of a little slow in the run-up. Maybe he was afraid of sending it a little too wide. Both drivers keeping it together though so far. Subby Wubby doing a great job in the chase. Oh, a little slow down there from JC. Contact from Subby Wubby. Alright, drivers are flipped around and ready to go. Big angle there from Subby Wubby. Lots of angle going at outside zone 1. JC very good avoiding contact from him and matching his line and angle through there. Both drivers with a massive flick over that crest. Wow, super aggressive transition there from JC. Not really quite sure what happened to him, but looked like his car just did not rotate around for him. And just completely cutting off Subby Wubby. All right. Call already came through. Subby Wubby is going to get the win. He will move on. Very unfortunate mistake there for JC. He was having a really good chase up until that point. But that's competitions. Anything can happen at any moment, no matter the driver. All right, here we go for our third battle of the top 16. Hydra against Chucho. Hydra in that S14, Chucho in the Mustang, and they are off. Hydra with a big, aggressive initiation, filling out outer zone 1 nearly to perfection. It seems as though from the stream, Chucho cutting that inside clip there. Hydra staying right on line, putting that S14 exactly where he needs to. Chucho struggling on that last half of the track in the chase, but both drivers make it across the line for their first run. Huge shout out to everybody that came out today for the Seth Miller Memorial competition, as well as everybody that showed up yesterday to the Seth Bash. It was an incredible time, amazing event. Wish we could add more people to come and support him. But 6-hour-long event, and it was fun the whole time. I enjoyed participating in it for sure. Props to everybody, and shout out to everybody who organized it. Incredible job doing it. Here we go, drivers flipped around ready to go for their next run. Got Chucho in the lead in the Mustang. Nice conservative initiation there from Chucho. Hydra playing a little conservative. Oh, sucking up to Chucho's door at that after that transition. Chucho dropping a little bit of tire over that outside, or right at that outside touch and go. But coming across the line, really, really good. Solid lead run there from Chucho. All right, seems as though we have a couple votes already in. Hydra's gonna get the win. Move on to the next round of the Gray 8. We're gonna have our next battle come to the line. Our last battle for Group A for top 16 will be Stoner Monk against Killshot. This should be a really good battle. Both these drivers seemed really hooked up in their first two battles, so it seemed like they had pretty dialed tune in. So we'll see what these boys can pull together for this battle. There we go. Drivers are off, coming down the run up. Super fast initiation there from Stoner Monk again, sending a little bit wide over out and outside one, slightly overcooking it, but getting it back together there. Killshot sticking right with him. Killshot right on Stoner Monk's door. The outside section could barely even see his car. Really good driving from both of these guys. Able to make it around the track to the finish line. All right, drivers at the line, ready to go for their second run. And we send them. Big flick from Killshot. Looked like he nearly threw a backy. Not quite sure it fully choked up Stoner Monk. If that was something we went over in the driver meeting, would be no backies. But it didn't look like it messed up Stoner Monk too much. All right, we will wait for a call from the judges. Now it's going to be a tricky one to call because Killshot threw a backy almost. And Stoner Monk went extremely wide in outside zone 1. So it's kind of almost like, should that be considered a wash, at least for outside zone 1? And then have it just come down to the battle after that. Still waiting on a call from the drivers, or from the judges, I'm sorry. All right, it seems as though the judges have decided to send them O&T. They deem both drivers a 0 for their leads. due to Stoner Monk going 2 tires off on outside zone 1. That white section is a no-go zone past outside zone 1. And Killshot threw a backy. So both drivers were deemed zeros for their runs, for their leads. So judges decided to go OMT just to kind of clean up the initiations on both parts and see what they can't pull together here. So give them both a chance to have a slightly better initiation there. And Stoner Monk definitely much more conservative on this initiation than rather on the first time. Not sending it quite as hard, and Killshot not allowing Stoner Monk to transition there. Super easy to do through that section when you're trying to keep as much proximity as you can. Very unfortunate there for Killshot. But both drivers make their way across the line in one piece for another great battle. Well, run. Battle's not over yet. All right, here we go. They're sending it. Make their way down the run-up. Killshot gonna do another big initiation. You can tell just by the way he goes down the run-up. He just throws it extremely hard. Lots of angle, 90 degrees. Even last run was backwards at that outside zone 1. Oh, both Stoner Monk having a major hiccup there. Oh, and Killshot just slightly overcooking it in that last outside zone. Gonna be a very interesting call from the judges. One of them is already typing. It seems like the decision was fairly easy for him to make. All the judges are typing now. Gonna have a call here very soon. All right. Stoner Monk's gonna get the win due to the contact made from Killshot in his chase, not allowing Stoner Monk to transition. But had that contact not happened, it would have been a much, much harder call to make. But very unfortunate for Killshot. You could tell he is one heck of a driver. Just unfortunate that he couldn't pull it together all here today. But hopefully we'll see him in some more competitions. Definitely enjoy having the Shadow Realm guys around competing here. I'm going to go, I myself will go sign up to some of their events. So if you want to compete with me in future events, then check out Shadow Realm's Discord, because I'm sure I'm going to be trying to get my hands into their competitions whenever I can. But we're having our next group come in, our final group of round 2, and then after this we're only going to have one final group left to come in. We'll be in the grade 8, so we'll be able to have all drivers in the server at one time that are remaining left in the competition. Our first battle in round 2, or in this group, to close out top 16 will be Taryn against Raynar, Tuno Drifts against Casey Tucker, Stokes VR against Randall Kinney, and then Diaz against Ratio. So that will be in the grade 8, and we should be making our way through this bracket here very, very quickly after these next couple. Want to also give a shout out to all of our sponsors, all of Assetto Drift League sponsors. I know that the Memorial Comp today I forgot to mention them. But Assetto Drift League, we actually just became a Vosen event partner. So that's very exciting on our end. Super happy to be working with them and to be a partner with Vosen. It's #1 mod website that there is for Assetto, so super privileged and happy to be a part of that. As well as Sleight of Hand, one of our newest team, drift teams that became one of our sponsors, ran by Jeff Osborne, a really good dude, super funny guy. But also Flow Motion Mod, Slush, Assetto, Asphalt Tattoo Strip Team, Big Dirty Burnouts, Fred's Drift Series over on CarX, which is going to be transitioning over to Assetto here very, very soon, so be on the lookout for them. And I do believe that's it. I'd like to also give a shout out, he's kind of one of our sponsors, but RK Skids over on Instagram. He makes videos and really, really good on the production and the stuff. Also the guy that made this track that we're driving on today, so huge shout out to him. Man's always doing drift stuff. And also, one last one I forgot to mention. I'm sorry, you just seen it up there in the top left-hand corner. Well, two of them. Team Pure, Assetto Drift League's drift team, of course, and Revolutionary Drift Club, which is owned by one of our moderators. Usually based around his initial idea was to be based around like the Final Bout grassroots style cars. So all can be found in the Assetto Drift League Discord, so if you are interested in joining any of those communities or teams, then you can join the Assetto Drift League Discord and become a part today. This practice should be ending here shortly. To send I'm sorry, I was reading some Discord messages, but we should be ending our practice here soon to be sending out the last few drivers of our top 16. Only a handful of battles left before we get to the grade 8. I was just notified that there is a echo on the stream. If there is, I do apologize for that. I was unaware, and I do not want to try to fix it now. Here we are. We got our next battle up. We got Taryn against Raynar. Taryn in that GTA 6, Raynar in the 400Z. Taryn with a big flick on initiation. Almost, I'm not quite sure what really happened there. I'm not sure if you should deem that a 0 or not, but not sure. He stayed in drift, it appeared, so maybe not, but oh, and then just that's definitely a 0 there from Taryn, just completely over rotating the car, going to the last outside zone. Very unfortunate for Taryn. He's usually one of the guys in the back end helping me out. He decided he wanted to drive today, so that's super unfortunate for him. Maybe that's why he should drive more in the competition, so he doesn't do stuff like that. But very unfortunate for him. Hate to see it. All right, drivers are off, coming down the straight. And Raynar with that nice, smooth, conservative initiation like we've seen all day from many drivers. Taryn giving him a bump, pushing him wide. And then Raynar just doing everything he can to get back on track here. Gonna try to finish out his run. chasing Terran this time. Going across the line to finish his lap. We will see what the judges have to say about the call. All right, and I do believe judges are going with Raynar for the win. Yes, they are. Terran just overcooking it in his lead, being too aggressive in his chase. Very unfortunate for him, but like I said earlier, that's competition drift, and that's just part of it. You gotta do what you got, or you gotta. Sometimes you have it, sometimes you don't. That's what I meant to say. All right, here we go. Got our next battle at the line now. We got Tuna Drifts against Casey Tucker. Tuna Drifts in that C5 Corvette. Casey Tucker in that Mustang. Big initiation there. Almost dropping 2 tires off Tuna Drifts. Just about on the edge of putting 2 tires off. Casey Tucker playing it safe, sticking quite a few cars back. Probably noticed it. Tuna went wide. Wanted to avoid from him making any mistakes. Also probably trying to avoid collisions from Tuna getting back online. Alright, drivers are off for their second run. Oh, Tuna just a little aggressive, giving Casey Tucker a bump. Drivers holding it together though. Trying to get back on track, back online. And Tuna just putting it right to his door, give him some taps across the line. Have to see what the judges say about that second run. Got 1 vote in from a judge now. Got 2 votes in and final vote. And it appears as though it's going to go to Casey. Casey Tucker will get the win. Mainly from the contact on Tuna Drift's initiation. Just barely going in the rear there of Casey. Not quite giving him time to initiate. Very unfortunate for Tuna because I do know that he is a great driver. But Casey Tucker is also a great driver, so can't really complain. Just one of them things though where you hate to see good drivers go out of the competition. You know, knowing what they're capable of and everything. But here we got our next battle at the line. We got Randall Kinney against Stokes VR. Stokes in the S15, Randall Kinney in the RX-7 FC. Stokes not quite with that, not quite a big initiation like he had his last time around. Much more conservative this time around, much more collected and clean. Both drivers very, very tidy so far. Putting their cars right where they need to. Randall sucking right up to Stokes' door there on that transition. One of them harder things to do coming over that crest. That's probably the hardest part of the track to grab somebody's door is coming over that crest. And Randall did a perfect job of it there. Drivers flipped around at the line, ready to go. And they are off. Little wobble there from Randall initiation. Looked like he went to go flick it big and just not quite able to do so. A little bit of a mishap there from Randall. We believe maybe he slowed just a little bit. Stokes wasn't quite expecting him to slow that much. Little bobble. Causing a little bit of a contact. But we'll see what the judges have to say. Got one vote in from the judges. Waiting on the other two judges to make a call. We have 2 votes for Stogue, which means Stogue is going to get the win. I believe. Waiting to see what this last judge has to say. Been typing for a while. Oh, there we go. All right, Stoke gets the win. Very unfortunate for Mr. Randall Kinney there. Like I said, he is the creator of this lovely track that we are driving on today. So, super unfortunate for him, but Stokes, congratulations for moving on to round 2, my friend. Or, I'm sorry, round 3. Here we go, we got Diaz against 3Show for our next battle. Diaz leaves the line, 3Show right behind. Big initiation there from Diaz, going way wide. 2 tires off track, outside outer zone 1. So you know that means that is going to be an incomplete there for Diaz. 2 tires off track. And here we go. As they come to finish out their run. Great job there from 3Show in the chase, holding it, keeping his composure. And avoiding contact being made with Diaz, going way wide. Alright, they are off for their second run. 3Show in the lead this time around. Diaz in the chase. 3Show with a nice smooth flick into the outside zone 1. Really tight through inside clip 2. Putting that car right where he needs to. Diaz sticking right with him. Very, very good lead line there from 3Show. You can definitely tell he was putting in his practice laps during the week. Very solid lead there from 3Show. Great chase from Diaz as well. Alright, and we already got a call came in. 3Show is going to get the win. He will move on to the grade 8. And now we're going to let the last few guys join into the server. Let them get a few laps of practice in before we send the rest of them, or send them all the way to the end of the competition. I do apologize. Wait for these last few drivers to join in. our first battle for round 3, the grade 8, is going to be Donique against Sebby Wubby, Hydra against Stoner Monk, Raynar against Casey Tucker, and then Stogs against Risho. Thank you to everybody who has stayed tuned in live with us throughout the entirety of this competition. Thank you for anybody joining, period. If you're just now joining us, this is the Seth Miller Memorial Competition hosted by Assetto Drift League. Hosted in honor of the name of Seth Miller. Very inspirational young man to be, or to be like, I'm sorry. Just always happy, super humble, always spreading positive vibes and smiles everywhere he went. Just an incredible young man. And I was telling one of my friends earlier out that I'd like to be like Seth when I grow up. He's just such an inspiration to live by. So here's to Seth, and here's to being more like him a little bit more each day. If you, like I was saying earlier, if you competed in the Seth Bash yesterday or helped organize it, amazing. It was so good. If you weren't there, we're planning on holding them every year, so be sure you come to the next one. We're gonna strive to be bigger and better each time, just to really make him proud, and you know, just make it all around better community. That's all that we can ask for. Here we go. It seems as though we got our last, or our first battle coming to the line now. For the grade 8, we got Donique in that GTA 6 in the lead, ready to send it for his first run of the final 8. We'll be going against Sebby Wubby in that S15. All right, here we go. Drivers are off. Donique with a big flick on initiation there. Getting all the angle he could out of that car. Might have even been a little bit backwards, maybe not quite. But Sebby Wubby avoiding contact with him and keeping it very tidy and very close to Donique there in the chase. Incredible driving from both of these young men. Wow. Great runs, guys. Great runs. And this is where things start to get interesting, because the battles start to get better and better and better, and the calls start to get harder and harder to make. So, we shall see what comes of it. Alright, drivers are off. And Sebby Wubby, just like Donique, huge initiation, big flick. Donique right on his door, sticking right with him, not giving him any room, giving Sebby Wubby any room in that chase. Both drivers putting these cars right where they're supposed to, and Donique, just incredible chase from Donique. I mean, you gotta have a great lead to have a great chase, but this is a very hard track to chase at, and that chase was just incredible from Donique there. Both runs from both drivers were all were great. All right, we got a call come in from the judges, and they're gonna give it to Sebby Wubby. Donique, unfortunately, knocked out of today's competition. I know how much this you know, even being a smaller event like this, he was one of the main contributors to the Seth Bash, but even in this event, I'm sure it meant a lot to him to go far. He was one of Seth's very good buddies, so unfortunate for him. but I do believe that it was caused from his slight, little bit too much angle on initiation. The other judges probably deemed it backy. I didn't have enough time to look into it before their calls already came through. So, but here's our next battle. We got Hydra against Stoner Monk, two longtime members of ADL. Two guys have driven together lots and lots and lots. Maybe not quite so much anymore here recently, but used to drive together all the time. We'll see what they can do. Stoner Monk almost collecting Hydra's door as he makes a slight wobble there, trying to transition that last outside zone. But he kept it together, kept it composed. Didn't hit Hydra, so drivers getting flipped around and lined up, ready to go. And they are off. I do apologize. Stoner Monk putting down a pretty solid lead here so far. A little slick there into that first inside clip. Looked like he had a couple little wobbles around the track. But nothing to really report home about. Both drivers made it across the line in one piece. Waiting on the judges to make their call. All right. Call has come through, and it will be Hydra moving on to the final four over Stoner Monk. Up next, we will have Raynar against Casey Tucker. Both drivers at the line already, ready to go. Raynar in the lead, Casey Tucker in the chase. Raynar with a pretty solid initiation, kind of coming out of angle a little bit there to make it to that inside clip, hitting that rumble strip. And I was telling the drivers earlier about how them rumble strips will be the death of you if you get your tires on them. And as you've seen there from Raynar, it is 100% true. Them rumble strips are nothing to play with, and they will take you out quick, fast, and in a hurry. So very unfortunate there for Raynar to be collected by them rumble strips, but nonetheless, we're here to have fun. We don't get paid for this. We just do this purely for the smiles. All right, drivers are off for their second run. Casey looking like he's getting a little bit, well, did look like he was getting a little bit more confident there in the initiation. Looking like he might have slowed a little bit too much. Raynar just not having really anywhere to go, kind of giving Casey a little bit of a bump. They still finish out their run though. And we'll come over here and wait for the judges to make a call. All right, we have 2 calls in from the judges, 3 calls in from the judges, and it is going to go to Casey. Our last battle for the top 8 for the grade 8 will be Stokes VR against 3 Show. And here we go, drivers are off. Stokes in the lead in the S15. 3 Show in the chase in the S14. Both drivers with 2 very different initiations. One went to go a little conservative, one that went to go kind of wild man. Oh, and 3 Show looking like you might have strayed in there. Coming into that outside touch and go. Both drivers make it to the line. Have to review back and watch exactly what happened there. Drivers make their way back to the line. Their second run. And you get ready to send them, and the light goes green. Very smooth initiation there from 3 Show, just like we've seen from him all day. Stokes getting a little aggressive there in the chase. Nothing too crazy though. Just give him a slight little bump. And Stokes just putting on an absolute showing today. First event here at ADL, and he is doing really, really well. Really solid runs there all around from both drivers. Have to review back and see exactly what happened to 3 Noon there in that outside touch and go see if he did indeed straighten, and if so, was it fault of the lead car or was it fault of his own? Alright, there we have it. Stokes gets the win. And he moves on to the final 4. Alright. Our next battle is going to be, for the final 4, will be Subby Wubby against Hydra, and then our next battle will be Casey Tucker against Stokes. Subby Wubby making his way back to the line. Hydra just rejoining the server again. Maybe he left accidentally. Hydra will be making his way back over to the line now. And this is it, guys. This is the final 4. After these 2 battles, we will have a 3rd place battle, and then we will have our 1st and 2nd place battle. But here we go. We got Subby Wubby against Hydra, 2 S chassis cars, 115, 114, Hydra in the 14, Subby Wubby in the 15. And here we go. Subby Wubby with a big initiation. Not quite sure if he was backwards or not, but he was 100% 90 when he entered that first zone, and Hydra sticking right there with him, keeping it glued to his door, not giving him any breathing room. Both drivers utilizing that outside rumble strip on that touch and go. They were allowed to do so today, according to the driver briefing. But wow, incredible driving from both of these guys for that first run. Great, great driving. Great run, boys. All right, driver slipped around at the line, ready to go. And here we go. They are going to send it for their last time for this battle, at least. Hydra initiates in. Big angle, just like Subby Wubby was. And Hydra, almost dialing on a little too much angle there from that inside clip, or at that inside clip from Hydra. Kept it together though, kept it composed. Subby Wubby not contacting his door from that slight over rotation. And Subby Wubby just same as Hydra, just not giving him any room to breathe. I mean, making it really difficult for the judges. Both of these drivers clearly won it. Hydra teleported through the track there momentarily. Got some supernatural stuff going on. Paranormal activity in the server. All right, there we have it. Subby Wubby is gonna get the win. Hydra will have to battle for third place. Subby Wubby was right on the brink of too much angle, almost considered a backy on initiation. He was right at that limit. Awesome job from him in that lead run and in the chase, but that initiation was fire, as the kids would say. Excuse my French. All right, here we go. Casey Tucker, Stokes VR for the last battle of the semifinals. Unless you include third place battle in semifinals, then not so much. That would be the next battle. Here we go. Getting ready to send them in. The light goes green and they are off. Casey Tucker in the lead. Stokes VR in the chase. Casey getting more confident as the comp goes on with that initiation. You can tell he wasn't very comfortable on his first run, but it seems like as the comp has went on, he's got a little bit more comfortable with it. Stokes sticking right with him though. Casey super clean so far in his lead run here. A little shallow on outside one, but overall not so bad. Was able to clean it up after outside one. And we'll see if Stokes is going to send it for his lead for his semifinal battle. We'll see what kind of initiation we get from him. Is it going to be one of them big fat boys, or is it going to be one of them conservative safe boys? We will see. Light goes green. They make their way down the run up. And Stokes goes with a moderate flick initiation, utilizing all of his brakes, bring that car to the proper speed of that outside zone. And Casey surging hard at that transition there, just like you want to see. There too as well, just sticking right there with him. Probably been watching his battles, knows that Stokes is a really good driver. Doesn't want to let him get away. Great driving from both these guys. As we wait for the judges. We've got 1 vote in, 2 votes in, and I do believe we got 2 votes for Stokes, so I think Stokes is going to take this battle and he is going to move on to his first or second place battle, and Casey Tucker will be battling for third place. Just want to say shout out to Stokes. I know he doesn't know me. It's probably going to sound weird, but he was actually a replacement driver for one of his buddies, teammates, I'm not quite sure. But somebody had to back out of the competition last minute and asked if his buddy could take his spot. So I figured, sure, why not? So Stokes was a last minute fill-in, you know, for one of his friends, like I said, and came out here and put an absolute clinic on today, making his way all the way to the podium, or the first place battle. So awesome job there from Stokes. So we got our third place battle at the line right now. We got Hydra against Casey Tucker. Who's gonna take third place? Hydra really fast on initiation, utilizing all his brakes just like Stokes did in that S15, bringing that car down to the proper speed. Really fast in S14, just putting car links on Casey. Casey looking like he's catching back up here. We'll see if he can get through his door across the line, and he does. Falls back just a little bit, assuming from a tire drop. Great battle from these two guys, though, for the third place. Hold up the bottom of the podium. All right, here we go for the second run of their third place battle. Casey in the lead, Hydra in the chase. Oh, Hydra looking like there might have been contact on initiation. Hydra making a huge correction on initiation, maybe expecting Casey to have a big flick, which Casey did not. Trying to pick the pieces back up here. Hydra is as they make their way across the line. Close out their battle for third place. Make our way over here to see what the judges have to say about that run. All right. Waiting for the judges to get back to us to see exactly what the call is for third place here. Reviewing the second run, really mainly the initiation, seeing exactly what happened. All right, we got 2 votes in. Waiting for the third judge to make a final call. Well, we got 2 votes in for Hydra, so Hydra's gonna get third place over Casey Tucker. Casey Tucker's gonna take fourth. Big thanks to these 2 drivers for coming out today. All the drivers actually for coming out today. But all of our podium guys, great driving, of course, and thank you for showing up and coming out for the Seth Miller competition today. All right, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is the final battle, the one that everybody been waiting to see, the very last battle of the day. We have Subby Wubby in the S15 against Stokes VR in the chase. Both drivers driving the S15. So I'm assuming that was the car for the track. seem to be very dominant. Lots of drivers choosing the S15 in the car selection channel. But Subby Wubby with a massive flick on initiation. And just super smooth line from Subby Wubby all day long. Might have touched the rumble strips there a little bit, but it didn't mess the chase up too much, so I'm not quite sure if we would knock points off of that for him, but just super smooth in his leads all day long. Stokes also putting down a really solid chase run. Slight little wobble on initiation, but he made it through it. He survived it. We get them flipped around now. Stokes VR will lead. Subby Wubby will chase. Big initiation there from Stokes, dropping a tire outside outer zone 1. See if he can get it together here as he finishes out the rest of the track. Very good on that outside touch and go. Super tight on the inside clip. Seeming like he's putting the car right where he needs to finish out his run here, and just Subby Wubby right there with him, not letting him leave at all. And here we will sit for our last call of the Seth Miller Memorial Competition hosted here at Silver Dollar Motorsports Park. And we already got 2 votes in. Both votes for the same driver, waiting for the gate to make the call to indicate to the drivers who it is. But our winner of today's competition, I don't want to announce it in case the drivers are watching. I don't want to announce it until they know. The winner of today's competition is going to be Subby Wubby. He is going to take the win. Congratulations, man. You definitely deserved it. I do believe you are on the Drift Bros Drift team. So huge shout out to that team for coming out. I know Ray James came out today. He's part of their team. Vibes was supposed to come out, but unfortunately some came up last minute. Let's see if the drivers can hear me if they're watching. Let's go ahead and get a 3-man tandem going on for our podium drivers. Here we go. Let's get a 3-man tandem going. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and send a 3-man tandem to close out this stream. We're going to play Seth's commercial one more time. Seth's Live Long Seth video. Before closing out this live stream. Oh, and they are fully sending it on this podium train. We'll see if we can make it across the line. This is a very hard track to get a train on, but we'll see if these drivers can manage to do so. So far, so good. Everybody staying on track. Everybody keeping their cars where they should. As they bring it to the line to close out their podium train. Great driving to everybody. Thank you so much, everybody, showing up and putting on the show that you guys did today. I definitely appreciate it. The whole staff at ADL appreciates it. And I'm sure, you know, if Seth's family is out there watching this, and I'm sure Seth's team appreciate you guys showing up for the event we're hosting in honor of him today. So greatly appreciated. If you guys are interested in coming to any of the other Assetto Drift League events, make sure you check that link in the description that would bring you to our Discord, where we have a schedule posted for the remainder of our season. It will be updated as time goes on for the locations, the event locations. We don't know where they're all going to be exactly. We have the first few selected, but just not the ones that close out the rest of the year. But again, thank you guys so much for watching. Congratulations to our podium drivers. We got Subby Wubby in first place. We got Stokes VR in third place. And we got Hydra Stokes VR in second place, and we got Hydra in third place. Congratulations to you guys today. Great driving by everybody. Huge shout out to Reno for making the track, and thank you everybody for watching and tuning in. And be sure that whenever you go out next time, you send it for Seth. But that's going to do it for our live stream today. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Be sure to stick around and stay posted for our upcoming events. And without further ado, I'm going to send you guys to one last commercial break before closing out the stream in honor of Seth. May you rest in peace, brother. We love you. We miss you. And we're going to try to keep your name and your legacy on, man. But just rest in peace, man. And we love you, bro.